Hello and welcome. I am Zerbraxi. 'Tis the Christmas season, which you know what that means. It's time to go on a classic WoW adventure. My hat's fallen a little bit off, so we're gonna fix that, and we're gonna take a trip down a quest that most people seem to think is very sad, very heartbreaking. And why would we want to do that for Christmas? Well, I've always looked at the Pamela Redpath questline a little bit differently, in one that I find to be one of family and strangers and friends coming together to redeem a father and to allow a daughter to rest. Today, we're taking a look at little Pamela Redpath.
It's been a long and grueling adventure in Azeroth thus far, and now we find ourselves within the harsh snow of Winterspring. Escaping to the inn within the refuge of Everlook, we happen upon a young lady named Jessica Redpath, who seems rather concerned. She tells of her home of Darrowshire being destroyed by the Scourge invasion, and that she's worried for the safety of her sister Pamela. To put her mind at ease, we must travel far to the other side of the world to ensure that Pamela is safe and sound.
Interestingly enough, our adventure doesn't have to begin here. I always love it when a video game will let you take on a quest from multiple different areas of the world. It makes that world feel way more alive. This one, though, we can start way closer to Darrowshire. And in fact, we'll also get a bit more experience for doing so.
The true start to the story of the Redpath family begins in the land of depression known as the Western Plague Lands. In the southeast portion of this zone lies a living graveyard of the walking dead. In the house located nearby, we happen upon a wandering spirit named Marlene Redpath. Just as Jessica did, she recants of the horrific destruction of Darrowshire. The only chance at a survivor would be her niece, whom was told by Marlene to hide until the battle was over. With only a sliver of hope to cling on, we must head east and pray that little Pamela is still safe. The Eastern Plaguelands is known as the moving corpse of Azeroth. After a little ways into the area, we find a small town, the remains of Darrowshire. Immediately, we begin searching for Pamela, and after some time, we finally find her. But it's too late. Her incorporeal shape wisps in the breeze as we approach her. It seems even this little girl has been doomed. However, upon approach, she quickly asks for our aid.
I've been here a long time, and my father hasn't come back for me. Sometimes bad people come and whisper to me, and I want my dad to make them go away. But he's not here. Sometimes when it gets dark, I just want to play with my doll, but I left it in town. Will you get my doll for me?
Sometimes making a wandering spirit feel comfortable again allows them to pass on, so we must hunt for this doll. The moment the doll is touched, a raging spirit emerges as if the doll's new owner. After slaying the spirit and searching through the town, we find the remaining pieces and more spirits. While handing over the doll, it seems like we've made little Pamela happy. Her spirit, though, seems to remain, anchored to this world against her will.
Oh, adventurer, I'm so lonely. Where's my family? My auntie Marlene told me to stay here, but she never came back for me. Sometimes at night, I also hear my Uncle Carlin crying, but he seems so far away from here. And my dad? Have you seen him? Well, my auntie lives near Anderhall, and my uncle went east. Please, you're my new friend. Will you find them for me?
We have no lead on her father, but we should definitely find her uncle immediately after we return to her aunt back at Sorrow Hill. Upon returning back to Marlene, we're immediately informed of Pamela's father's demise. Unfortunately, while we can't retrieve his body, Marlene asks us to find his wedding ring from his grave and bring it to a strange historian inside the city of Anderhall, a gnome known as Chromie. Captain Redpath's grave lies directly to the east of the house in the graveyard just outside, and just like Marlene said, Joseph Redpath's wedding ring is left inside. Our next stop, the Inn of Anderhall. Anderhall is a nightmare of abominations, skeletons, and liches. From Sorrow Hill, we must venture across the turmoil of this town, or take the safer route around the city and head to the north side to the remains of a tavern. Once inside, and after a couple more undead, we see a light in the master bedroom upstairs. Sure enough, a small golden-haired gnome is just standing there, almost as if she were expecting us. In Azeroth, the only people who believe they have foresight are those who are crazy or are bronze dragons. Well, this is just a gnome, so a crazy gnome it is. We hand the ring over to Chromie, and she mentions that there's a chance that we can help Joseph Redpath out, but only in the past. So yeah, she's completely mad.
To save Joseph Redpath, we must first discover his past. Bring me the annals of Darrowshire. We can then learn Joseph's fate, and with luck, change it.
After a bunch of searching throughout the town, we find several musty tomes in the centermost building of the city. If we look carefully, we can find that there is one slightly different than the others. Upon close inspection, it appears most of the tomes have a harsh shadow between its top and bottom covers. It almost seems unnatural. However, one does appear to have the normal shade of wear that a book this worn would tend to have. Thankfully, this book does appear to be the Annals of Darrowshire. Who knows what unearthly things would have happened if we grabbed the wrong book. In a rush, we head back to Chromie to show her what we found. After what seems like mere seconds, Chromie closes the book as if she's finished reading the entire tale.
It says that during the battle, Joseph Redpath was corrupted and joined the ranks of the Scourge. That's an ill fate. If we can, we should try and change that fate. Don't you think? This book now extends its history beyond the battle. One of the extra passages tells of another Redpath, Carlin. Carlin is now in the Plague Lands to the east at the Light's Hope Chapel.
Wait, what? Extra pages? Beyond the battle? Change fate? Why couldn't we just be feeding more oats to old Blanchy again? Well, this is for Pamela, so we must head east. This crazy gnome trying to act like a time-keeping dragon has gotten rather old. We must head deep across the eastern Plaguelands, to the far side of the area. After what feels like forever, we see some light. In the desolation, this church and the gathering of all races feels like some final beacon of hope in this torn land. Among those gathered around, we find Carlin Redpath, Pamela's uncle whom she asked us to find in the east. Now, what a fortunate set of events. After handing over the book to Carlin, he notices that there is a different story written at the end. He seems convinced by the words and asks us to discover the truth. Carlin seems to think that we need to gather some items that are tied to Darrowshire in order to assist with redeeming Joseph and allowing Pamela to pass on. He asks us to fulfill some tasks. First, we must head back to the Western Plaguelands to grab two objects that the Annals of Darrowshire mention specifically. The first is Captain Joseph Redpath's shield. It lies on the ground just outside a barn on the farm known as Agaron's Withering. The second item that the book mentioned was a librum that tells the story of a great paladin named Davil Lightfire. Unfortunately, this task requires that we venture deep into the Scarlet Crusade haven of Hearthglen and break into their town hall. It would be best if we traveled with at least one partner on this, as enemies here are going to be very powerful. The second task deals with the named villains that attacked Darrowshire. First, we must find the skull of the ghoul lord Horgus the Ravager, which was thrown into Blackwood Lake. Next, we must find the fabled sword of Marduk the Black. Its last known location is the Infectus Scar to the south of Blackwood Lake. Our third task we must fulfill is to free the souls of the many undead in the area. Cannibal ghouls and gibbering ghouls, and diseased flayers roam the area. Once good folk of Darrowshire are now desecrated horrors on the land. Once they are slain, we can tell their ghost of their fate and allow them to be freed. After handing over the shield and the librum, we are asked to track down some of the marauders of Darrowshire that still linger close to this place. Just north and west to Light's Hope Chapel lies the Noxious Glade and the Fungal Vale, respectively. There are plenty of Scourge champions around these areas that were involved in the battle, although some were not. We're given a mystic crystal that we must use on the skulls of the fallen champions. If this particular warrior was involved in the Battle of Darrowshire, then its skull will resonate, and if not, it will simply turn to dust. Once we return with everything, Carlin mentions that we should return to Chromie with all of the relics to see if there's anything more she can do. With so many items having such a close connection to Darrowshire, there must be something that can be done to redeem Joseph Redpath's name and release Pamela from her ethereal prison. So back to Anderhall, and just as creepy as ever, Chromie is there in the room, ready for our arrival. It's as if she's already prepared the next step, like she already knows of our success before we've even done anything.
Together, they weave a powerful spell. With that spell, and with a little luck, we can save Joseph Redpath. Now, you will take part in this Battle of Darrowshire. After defeating the corrupted Redpath, his spirit will be saved.
It's just simply not worth questioning Chromie anymore at this point. So let us just return to Darrowshire. If this is a real battle we'll be experiencing, though, we're gonna need a full party of adventurers to finish this quest. Once arrived at the town square of Darrowshire, we pull up the bag of relics, and in an instant, spirits appear from all over. Just like that, we are experiencing the destructive Battle of Darrowshire. Hordes of undead begin to stream into the town, while Captain Joseph Redpath and Davil Lightfire stand strong to defend their home. We must eradicate the undead and ensure that these two men live through it all. Eventually, Horgus and Marduk show themselves as well, but quick work can be made of them now that we're prepared. And once it seems that we've won this all, the scourge-infested Redpath the Corrupted appears and aims to destroy all that's left. With a lot of work and the pressure of Pamela's safety on our consciousness, we kill him and the battle is won. At least in this timeline it is.
The fighting is over. I heard my daddy whisper to me. He also said I should welcome you if you came to our house. So I made tea. I hope you like lots of sugar. Daddy told me to give you this key. He said it opens a chest out back. He also wanted me to thank you. Thank you. You are so very nice.
With that and the love of family, Joseph Redpath is redeemed, and little Pamela can finally rest.
Thank you so much for watching, and if you did enjoy the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, thumbs me down and still help me in that regard. That'd be nice. Thanks. If you do want to see more, though, if you did like the video, please subscribe. It helps me a ton. It makes me know what people like. It makes me feel good about myself. That's very important to me. So that we can do that. And we have more than just Classic WoW stuff on here. If this is your first video you're seeing, we have tons of general gaming content that cover all spans of things, but mostly reviews, dissections, and things like this where we go a little bit deeper. If you also want to check out my other channel, Jerry Rigged, we're getting back to that soon, a Let's Play channel. Hope you enjoy. But without further ado, don't go too much onward, just blabble, blabble, blabble. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, thank you so much, and bye-bye, and I'll see you in the next one. Christmas time. Love it. I got red and green in the back. I'm not sure if you saw, I tried. Give it my all for you.